Hi everybody, this is Rob from Armor and Scale, here today to do an unboxing of the Dragon Tiger 1 initial production kit. This kit came courtesy of an online retailer here in Canada called Kit Bunker. They specialize in pre-owned kits, and they also purchase kits from retail stores that have gone out of business. I imagine that this is probably from such an enterprise because it's still wrapped in the plastic. And that got me thinking that here's kind of a unique opportunity to record the opening of this kit, and you'll get a chance to see the contents inside the box at the very same time that I'll be seeing them for the first time. So without further ado, let's take a quick look at the box and then dive right in. On the outside, it shows you the three versions that can be built. Essentially, these two versions seem pretty similar. They each have a Panzer III storage bin at the back of the turret. I guess, you know, in the initial stages of Tiger production, they still hadn't designed a proper storage bin, and so they just lifted bins from Panzer IIIs and used those. Probably not large enough, but may have sufficed. This version here is somewhat different in that it has two storage bins, one on either side of the turret. Another distinction between the three versions is the length of the exhaust stacks. This one has relatively short exhaust stacks. Probably that would be the norm. And it's also painted in Panzer Gray. This one here has slightly longer exhaust stacks and is Panzer Gray with whitewash winter camo over top. And this one here has the longest of all the exhaust stacks, also with the winter camo. One thing I really like about Dragon that you don't see with other kit manufacturers is they actually use the back of the box to give you a little bit of information about the kit inside. Some of the things I'm seeing here that I really like are that it will include photo etch, and you get 3 tracks with it, so that these initial Tigers, originally the story is that there were only 9 of them built of this initial production run. And they were rushed into combat in Russia. Subsequent Tiger tanks were produced for the Deutsche Afrika Korps and sent over to Tunisia and North Africa for combat use there. These initial Tigers had mirrored tracks, which I don't know why they would go to the trouble of doing that, but they had a right track and a left track. And apparently what the crews started doing was they decided it's too much work to sort all that out, so they just decided that they would take a left track and put it on the right side backwards. And that's why the kit gives you the option of doing either the mirrored, or you can do the 2 left side tracks with one of them being on the right hand side facing backward. I can't imagine what difference that would make, but the German tank designers obviously thought that was a pretty important feature, and so they included it. The crews, once they got their hands on the vehicles, didn't agree that this was an important feature, and so they quickly did away with it. So without further ado, let's get into this box. This is the very first time that I've seen the interior contents. And this is a sharp knife. I don't want to destroy the box. Besides the cellophane here, they've got a couple of adhesive strips that I'll have to cut through. There's one right there. We'll go through that. There's another one right up top here. No need to make a mess out of this, but then again, it doesn't have to go too smoothly. All right. My local hobby store, for whatever reason, they take the plastic off all the kits as they come in. So you never get the chance to actually see the kit or to buy the kit with the plastic still on it. This is kind of a rare thing for me. It's not that I buy a lot of kits from my local hobby store, but when I do, I don't know, I kind of like them to be still wrapped in plastic. Well, I mean, why not, right? But I guess they figure that if they take the plastic off, if somebody's going to rummage through the kit anyway, then, you know, it's just less hassle for them. But I really would prefer that people didn't rummage through the kits. All right. I haven't quite got it open. There we go. I think I got it now. Oh, there's one on this end too. Boy, oh boy, they secure these things well. All right, finally. All right, the first thing I notice is, unlike every other unboxing video that I've ever seen, there's no instruction sheet right on the top. It's right at the very bottom. So let's dig that out first. I'm just kind of used to seeing videos where the instruction sheet is right there at the top. Oh, that's nice. They give you the painting guide here in color. I mean, unfortunately, the colors involved with this kit are gray and white, but still, I like the attempt. And here's the instruction manual. This will be the first dragon kit that I've ever built. I've got one other dragon kit in my stash. I'm more of a modern armor builder myself. And I've got one of their M1A1 Abrams tanks in my stash that I hope to very soon get into building, but it's like a 900-piece kit, and you just have to be in the mood for that sort of thing. This particular kit apparently is only 400 pieces. I guess it's partly because the tracks are DS tracks, so they come pre-assembled. That's great. Just looking through the instruction sheet here, there are some areas here that are blued out, indicating that you won't be using the parts for this build. I imagine in some cases, depending on which of the 3 versions you want to build, you'll use some parts and not others. But it's a fold-out style. I'm not one that gets all that fussy about whether it's a booklet or a fold-out style. I don't really care as long as the instructions are clear. And these seem pretty good. 21 steps. That seems pretty manageable. That's about the norm for kits that I've built lately. Alright, well, let's take a look at some of the parts. Sorry if I gloss over the instructions there. I'm not a particularly experienced kit builder, and like I say, I'm just not that fussy about instructions. Just give me a good idea of what to do and I'll go for it. First thing I notice is this tank is not nearly as large as I would have expected. I don't have a whole lot of interest in World War II vehicles. Tiger tank might be the one exception. When I was a kid, I used to really love building World War II tanks, but then of course, you know, that was back in the 60s and 70s, and World War II was a much more recent event. Now it's so far in the rearview mirror, I don't even think about it at all. You know, there have been so many other wars since, and the armor used in those wars interests me more. Compared to an M1 Abrams tank or something like a Merkava, the Tiger tank is not a very large vehicle. I'm sure it was absolutely huge compared to its adversaries on the battlefield back in World War II, but you know, by today's standards, not a particularly large tank. Probably would rate as a medium. The lower hull here, it looks really good. I like the welding that I'm seeing here. Where the torsion bars connect, there's a lot of detail there. A little difficult to see through the bag, so hey, why don't we get rid of that? Yeah, there's a little bit of texture here. A little more than I would have expected, really. Or a little less, I should say. You know, my impression is that at this point in the war, 1943, I believe these vehicles were being produced or starting to get produced. You would think that the German war industry was starting to be under a little bit of stress and that it would start showing in the product. But according to Dragon here, Tiger tanks were sent out of the factory with a near flawless finish. So hopefully that was the case. This must be what they refer to as a Dragon card. Oh, look at that. It does come with some individual track links, but I suppose these are for the spare tracks. That's kind of neat. It'll give me an opportunity to see what Dragon's individual link tracks are like. It looks like we get some wire here for tow cable. I don't know if that's to scale or not. We'll have to look into that. And we get some photo etch. Not a lot in the way of decals or decals. Here in Canada, I think we generally say decals, so that's what I go with. We get some clear parts here. There are some kit parts that are packaged separately, not sure why, and more photo etch. So yeah, pretty good. I've never seen parts packaged on a separate card before. I guess that's a Dragon thing. Kind of like that. And here the tracks are packed in sort of a cardboard tray of sorts. I guess the idea here is that it prevents the guide horns from getting crushed. And if that was their intent, then certainly these trays have done their job. These tracks look pretty good. Here, this is an oddball. I'm not sure if this is a left or a right, but we'll get it out here and have a look at it. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, that's actually, the detail is quite nice. I really like that. Each of the guide horns has a lightning hole in it, so I'm not sure that's actually the right shape. I'm no Tiger expert, could be, but they look legit. I like these. I have ordered some AFV Club individual link tracks for this build. That was a recommendation that Adam Mann made in one of his videos. He was talking about different aftermarket track kits that you could get, and he mentioned the AFV tracks specifically as being good tracks for the money. So I'm going to give them a try. But you know what? There's not a heck of a lot wrong with those DS tracks. They might not have the right sag when you put them on. And because this tank here, this particular Tiger tank, this initial production version, it didn't have fenders or side skirts or anything. So you are going to have an extremely good view of the tracks when this kit is built. So probably a good idea to use individual link. Oh, what am I seeing here? Oh, more photo etch. Look like engine grills, and boy, they're nice. They are really, really nice. These are well produced. Not sure what this is, but looks interesting. There are some wires in here. They almost look like bent staples. Not sure what that is. We'll find out. And there's a spring. I'm wondering if the barrel of the cannon is made to recoil. I know that some kits do that. I wouldn't think a Dragon kit would do that, but if that's what that spring is for, I'm surprised. Probably leave that out. That's a feature I could do without. I'm just going to gloss over this. Not going to really get into the bags just yet. I'm really dying to build this kit, but you know, I don't want this review to go on forever. Adam did a really good review of this kit probably a little over 2 years ago, and I would suggest if somebody wants a really detailed look at the kit, you should probably watch Adam's review of it. This is just a, you know, more a sharing of my excitement of actually being able to open a previously unopened kit. Just wanted to share that with people who follow my channel. the molding on here is fantastic. Like, there are some really fine parts on here that have a lot of detail and not a lot of weight to them. So I think this is going to go together really well. Just little things like cooling fans on that sprue. They look great. And over here, well, I think we've already seen a gun mantlet in here. Yeah, this kit is full of them. There's a couple more down here. I think there was another one on a sprue over here. Wow, you get your choice. I'll just have to figure out which is the right one for the kit I'm building. By the way, I'm going to build, get the box back here. I'm going to build this particular tank right here, number 3. It has most of the features that I kind of like, that are representative of a Tiger tank for me. I don't really care for the Panzer III storage bin, but the alternative is to build the version that has the bins on either side of the turret, and that really appeals to me even less. So this is, I think, the one that I'm going to build. I'm going to take a really good look at the instructions and the parts involved, and I'll make a final decision then, but right now I think that's the route I'm going to go. So looking at the kit some more, you know, here we have the turret halves, the turret roof. I don't know if I'd spotted that one previously, but here's another gun mantlet. The drive sprockets, really nice detail on these. And I can tell that they've got the same texture as the hull, which is to say that there is a little bit of texture, but to my eye it just seems too perfect. You know, it's not what you would expect from a wartime production vehicle. And here are storage bins here. I imagine these are the ones that fit onto the turret sides. Yeah, and this would be the Panzer III storage bin here. Alright, we're getting this sorted out. And the road wheels, of course. Boy, that's the thing with Tiger tanks. You get a lot of road wheels. I've never built a Tiger tank before. As I say, when I was a kid, I had more interest in World War II vehicles. But for some reason, I just never built a Tiger tank. I really liked them. To me, they were the ultimate tank of the Second World War. I just never really had much interest in building one. And I think part of it was that as a kid, you know, things like the road wheels and the tracks, they just look kind of fussy to me. And I'm not really sure that we had really great options back then for kit choices. I don't know if Tamiya's Tiger was around when I was a real youth, but you know, there were Aurora tanks and that sort of thing, and they just barely resembled the tanks that they were supposed to represent. And going on through the last couple of sprues packages here, you know, you get 3 or 4 sprues in every package, so there are a lot of sprues. You're going to really have to do something to keep track of it. This one's labeled Sprue S. I'm going to have to figure out some way of keeping track of all of those, or I'm going to be hunting for parts forever. And here's the front plate. And I don't know if you get just that one, or they probably give you options for that as well. We'll see as I get more into the kit. Throughout, detail is excellent. There are not a lot of ejector pin marks. Those that I have seen tend to be in places where they're not going to bother anybody, least of all me. You know, like here, the back side of this plate is just peppered in them, but that's not going to bother anybody. That won't show up anywhere. This is the side that you see, and there's no flaw there whatsoever. There's no flash on any of these parts. They're really clean and nicely molded. They've got good crisp detail. The bolts look well detailed. I think it looks just awesome. I think this is going to be a fun build. I'm really looking forward to it. I think that what I've heard of dragon kits, it seems to be borne out in this one. These are nice looking kits, really attractive, and I'm going to enjoy building this one. I'm absolutely convinced. You know, not being a World War II armor kind of guy, I mean, if you're going to build any tank, it may as well be a Tiger tank. So, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing inside the box for the first time with me. Next step is to get started on building this thing. As I mentioned in my previous video, I figure this is probably going to take a few months because I just really don't have the time to devote to it right now. The weather's pretty good outside, and I don't want to miss any sunny, hot days. Maybe if it rains one day, then I can set aside a few hours to work on this and that sort of thing. But I would expect to finish this more in the fall. You know, when the days get shorter and it's not always that great to be outside. So thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. This is really my first unboxing, so to speak. I know I glossed over a lot here, but this kit has been reviewed previously by people who are much better qualified to do so than me. I might have added one or two points that other reviewers haven't covered, hopefully. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the videos that you're seeing on my channel, then I urge you to subscribe. Just click like and subscribe. Thanks very much, and we'll see you as this build progresses. Take care.